rural development in China.
In
2021, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, we conscientiously implemented General Secretary Xi's important instructions and decisions of the central leadership. In this new stage of development, closely followed the new development philosophy and contributed to building a new development paradigm. We gave full play to the important pivotal role of housing and urban rural development in expanding domestic demand, transforming mode and adjusting structure. We worked hard for high quality in this sector and got the 14th Five-Year Plan off to a good start. First, parallel progress was made in epidemic control and housing and urban rural development. More than 11 million employees in the municipal, utilities, sanitation, property management, and other industries across the country, with their dedicated and selfless work, effectively guaranteed the operation of the city and the production and life of the people. Relevant companies went all out to build epidemic prevention and control facilities for strengthened regular prevention and control in parks, communities, and construction sites, putting in place a solid defense against the virus. We encouraged the reduction or exemption of rent owed by small and micro enterprises and the self-employed that rent state-owned buildings. Application of enterprises in difficulty to reduce housing fund payment ratio and payment postponement procedures was simplified, helping enterprises solve practical difficulties. Second, stability on the housing market was maintained. With joint efforts of all, the housing market ran smoothly on the whole. That housing is for living, not for speculation, became a society-wide consensus. We steadily implemented a long-term mechanism for the housing market. Cities played their due role on this matter, with strengthened supervision and guidance for provincial governments, with the primary goal of guaranteeing the delivery of buildings, people's livelihood, and stability. Guided by rule of law and market-based principles, we acted resolutely and forcefully to handle the overdue delivery risks of individual real estate enterprises. The housing rental market was standardized, and order of the real estate market maintained. The legitimate rights and interests of the people were effectively protected. Third, development of affordable housing was promoted. Affordable rental housing saw accelerated growth, and 942,000 new units were set aside in 40 cities across the country. Housing difficulties for new citizens and young people were given priority. The development of public rental housing was standardized, with low-income families with urban household registration basically covered. Renovations for 1.65 million sets of shantytown houses started. Renovation of 55,600 old urban communities began, benefiting 9.65 million households. Flexible employees received guidance to participate in the housing fund system, and 5 high-frequency service matters such as housing fund withdrawals were provided on an inter-provincial basis. Fourth, urban renewal was carried out steadily. An urban physical examination evaluation mechanism was implemented, and examinations were done in 59 sample cities. Urban construction guidelines were set out to strengthen bottom-line control of urban construction and prevent large-scale demolition and construction. All localities were prompted to learn lessons from events such as large-scale relocation and tree felling in Guangzhou and put an end to destructive construction. A national historical and cultural city protection evaluation system was put in place. Efforts to set out historical and cultural blocks and determine historical buildings sped up. Construction of urban drainage and waterlogging prevention facilities was pushed ahead, with parallel focus on food control, flood control, and drainage. Garbage classification was carried out in 74% of all residential communities in cities at or above prefecture level. Development of urban operation management service platforms at national, provincial, and municipal levels saw progress. Fifth, beautiful and livable rural areas grew in size and quality. The renovation of dilapidated houses and earthquake-resistant renovations for low-income groups in rural areas continued, and 492,000 houses were renovated throughout the year. Rural development evaluation was carried out in 81 sample counties in 28 provinces to find shortcomings in rural construction and ways to address them. Construction guidelines for counties were made to strengthen the green and low-carbon construction of the county. Construction guidelines for rural areas were also in place to speed up the modernization of rural housing and villages and improve rural living environment. 90+% of villages now have access to household waste treatment. 6. The transformation and upgrading of the construction industry was accelerated. Coordinated development of smart construction and new building industrialization was advanced with active efforts for prefabricated buildings and green buildings, special inspections on the quality of ready-mixed concrete and the use of sea sand, and quality inspections of construction of Beijing Winter Olympics venues were done. The establishment of a construction project quality evaluation system was explored. The construction standard system was improved, with 80 standards released throughout the year. 7th, efforts were made to forestall and address hidden risks in urban and rural construction. Guidance was given to the emergency response to and investigation of the gas explosion incident in Shiyan. Surrounding provinces and cities were encouraged to urgently assist in Henan province's response to the July 20th heavy rain disaster. We investigated and rectified 770,000 hidden safety hazards, rectified 386,600 natural gas-related urban safety hazards, and basically completed the nationwide investigation of hidden safety hazards in rural houses and phased rectification of self-built rural houses for business purposes. Safe production responsibilities of the entire chain of construction projects was sorted out, and a closed-loop management mechanism was put in place. 8th, reforms in key areas were deepened and expanded. Reform of the approval system for construction projects was deepened, meaning putting in place a basic national construction project approval management system, with special attention paid to problems of out-of-system circulation and hidden approval. Reform of government services for the construction sector deepened. Qualification examination approval of project cost consulting enterprises was cancelled. Qualification examination approval authority of construction engineering enterprises was delegated on a pilot basis in 15 provinces. Special plans such as the 14th Five-Year Plan for Urban and Rural Living Environment Improvement were made. 9th, party building was strengthened comprehensively. Taking political building as the top priority, we gained a profound understanding of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and vigorously enhanced the ministry's sense as a political organ. Grassroots party organizations were cemented and activities to create exemplar posts of party members were carried out. In following requirements for ensuring full and strict governance over the party,